All right, welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts about this first test match that ended between New Zealand and India. And it's something that, can really be delved into and analyzed much deeper than just a quick review. But the reason why this is going to be a quick review is because I wasn't able to watch a lot of this match. I watched, the first half of the first day, and then just like in and out, I was checking in to see what was going on. Rooting for India the entire time, obviously. New Zealand's a really good squad, and I've always kind of given them a hard time about not being able to produce on the road in tests. They really produced today. If you're a cricket fan, you love this match. Even if you're not a fan of either of these two teams, you love how this match went. This was some gritty cricket. This was some amazing cricket. We saw some amazing feats. We saw some firsts. We saw some really, really excellent cricket being played, and great patience too, and tenacity. So many different adjectives for this test. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is a drawn match. I've seen drawn matches before, and as an early cricket fan, I was not a big fan of them. They're absolutely fantastic. There are a drawn match that goes all 5 days. It goes all of the balls, all of the overs that you can fit in those 5 days, all 30 hours for crying out loud. That is a result that is hard-earned, hard-fought, and well-earned. And honestly, it showed the courage, it showed the patience, it showed the resilience, the great escape of New Zealand to be able to keep that to a draw. It reminds me of the third match in Australia. Sorry, Australia fans, with that Indian tour there last year. And so, or was that earlier this year? Almost a year ago. And so, anyways, you had a situation. Let's get to the very, very end, the fifth day. New Zealand's walking into the fifth day. I believe they had lost just one wicket. I believe. They had India declared on day 4 near the end, and it gave enough for just a few overs for New Zealand. They scored 4 runs, but they lost an early wicket. And that was something that was really, really needed. Will Young lost his wicket in the 3rd over. So they went in with just 1 wicket, but it was early on, but they lasted. The first session, I want to say they didn't lose any wickets that first session. The next wicket did not come until the 35th over, and then the 3rd wicket not until the 54th over. So you're looking at the 50th over, and they had only lost 2 wickets. They were really, really, really good shape. But then the bowling, I didn't watch it, so I'm assuming the track started to turn a little bit, because you had a 4-wicket haul from Jadeja, spinner. 3-wicket haul from Ashwin, spinner. Patel got himself 1 spinner. Umesh Yadav was the only non-spinner to get a wicket. And it started to turn. Not sure what happened with the wickets. They were falling. 63rd over, 65th over, 64th over, 65th over. Almost back-to-back there, Taylor and Nichols. The 70th over, Kane Williamson went down. Kane Williamson did not have the best performances in this match. And then Blundell went down in the 79th over. And the most amazing thing is at that point, you have no more pure batsmen left. Jamieson, yes, he's an all-rounder, but he's coming in at 7. No, he's coming in at 8. No, 9. He's coming at 9. 9, 10, 11, excuse me. He's coming in at 9. So, obviously, they don't have the most faith, even though I think this guy can rake a little bit. You have this guy, Jamieson, coming in, and he's in a partnership with Southey, and then eventually, very short, and then Ajaz Patel. And what they did was something that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of fortitude. It takes a lot of resilience to say, we got like 20 overs left to outlast. We cannot lose a wicket. I'm not going to say who, but I can tell you right now on the Indian side, if it was down to 2 guys, sorry, not going to happen, right? But these guys, these tail enders for New Zealand, as an Indian fan, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But as a cricket fan, it's absolutely phenomenal what they were able to do. Little golf clap to their ability to outlast and their ability to just hold on. It's like you're on the edge of a high-rise building. You're holding on with your fingertips. We can hold on for another 2 hours, can't we? They were able to hold on for 20 overs, and they were able to get this to a drawn match. And if I'm like if I'm Team India, I'm like, umpires, don't you think we have at least one more over left in us? Don't we have one or two, a few more balls you can just throw us just for pity? But no, New Zealand drew, and it doesn't overshadow some great performances we saw in this match, but it definitely shows New Zealand was able to come in there. They were able to fight. Everyone had predicted them to get whitewashed in this short series, to lose the entire tour. And I'm not sure if it's still a whitewash if there's a draw. In my mind, it shouldn't be, because you did not win every single match. But maybe if you don't lose one, it's a whitewash. Comment below, let me know, educate me on that, because I'm not too sure. And as while you're doing that, if you haven't done so, go ahead and like and subscribe if you like what you hear. Here at Cricket for Americans, a couple of Americans that just love learning about cricket, talking about cricket, and we've learned a few things in the last few years, and we're still learning. So always educate us. Let us know in the comment section. Hit that like and subscribe button. We really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So that was the result, but so many phenomenal performances here. Talking about the second innings for New Zealand, Tom Latham saw the most balls in any New Zealand batsman, which makes sense, or batter, but this is test. You can go as long as you want, the other guys. He saw 146 balls and only 3 boundaries. He got himself 52, so he really was patient. He really outlasted. And in his first innings, he almost got a century. He got 95, and again, saw the most balls. That's what an opener needs to do. You're going to see the most balls. You're going to get as comfortable as you can. You're going to score when you get a chance to. He had 10 boundaries in that 95 performance. Latham, I didn't know anything about him. This guy was really, really impressive as an opener. New Zealand's really got themselves something with Latham, because he was really impressive. Will Young in that first innings, New Zealand, I thought, okay, India put up like, what, 345, right? Yeah, 345 in their first innings. I'm like, all right, this is easy money right here. Latham and Will Young, they outlasted. Man, did they outlast. Will Young was the first wicket, and that wasn't until the 67th over. New Zealand was just so tenacious and so crazy with that. Latham didn't go down to the 102nd over. Craziness. That opening partnership was a huge difference in that first innings. In the second innings, Will Young only got 2. He went out, like I said, in day 4 at the end of the day. But you had Somerville, you had Williamson. That got you enough runs. They both got 100 balls, which was more important than the runs, in my opinion. And especially since it resulted in that draw. Because they were not going to catch up to India. They were 35, they were 69 behind in that second innings alone, plus another 49. Okay, so over 100 runs. They weren't going to chase. It was all about drawing, and the great escape, ladies and gentlemen. But I was really impressed with those openers and impressed with the supportive guys in this case that were able to do it. I'm going to get to one of the batters later on, right? One specific right here. But talk about the first innings for India. You had yourself a 50 from Shubman Gill. Little golf clap for that one. Ravi Jadeja, I still got to watch the highlights because I didn't see him get his 50. I'm hoping there's Excalibur there because I love seeing myself as Excalibur. India put up 345. That was absolutely phenomenal for them. As far as the bowling side, Southey was a beast, for crying out loud. 5-wicket haul. He got a 5 baby in the first inning. Jamieson got 3. Patel got 2. Patel really impressed me as well. I know he's someone that Ozjan really is impressed with, and he was completely right about that. As far as New Zealand's second innings, Southey again 3, Jamieson again 3. I feel like Jamieson was the difference maker. Southey got himself 8 wickets in this test match. He's going to get the headlines for the wicket haul, but Jamieson really, really was a difference maker. He took Shubman Gill's. He took Pujara's wicket. He took Ashton's wicket, which is a big wicket, but not as big as the other 2 in that second innings. And then Jamieson took Agarwal, first guy. Took Shubman Gill, second guy. Took Rahane. And so he really, he took the first 3 of the first 4 in that first inning. Jamieson was someone you could not stop. He was someone they couldn't get around. They were settled in against other bowlers. They weren't able to evade him. And he was really able to put a kibosh to those opening partnerships, even though they were able to still score 345. Really impressed. I'm jumping all over the place here. Really impressed with India's ability to score in the middle order. And even the tail enders a little bit, not much after Ashwin, but a little bit. But their ability to score in the middle there was really, really impressive. Something I did not like was Pujara, once again, did not give me enough. He saw 88 balls in the first innings. He saw 33. Didn't score too big. I'm not. It might be time, ladies and gentlemen. After this tour, it might be time. I don't know, to think about some other options, to give him some more rest, to switch it in and out, because I'm not sure he's not able to do Pujarian things as of recently. I'm talking like the last 6 or 8 or 9 months or so. Rahane, same thing. Not very impressed with the captain there and with his batting performances. Combined 39. That's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. And I would lose my mind if I saw a run out next to his name, because that would mean, once again, he could not run. Rahane. Talking about the Indian bowlers, I'm going to get to the man of the match in just a second. You're probably like, how have you not mentioned this guy yet? Oh, trust me, I'm going to. I was going off on Ishant Sharma with Gabe during our day 1 stream. And was I adding a little more sauce to it? Absolutely, for some entertainment value. But I have not been impressed, and I still am not too impressed. He bowled 15 overs as a pacer. Umesh had 18 in the first innings. 0 wickets, 4 no balls. He did have a low economy rate, but not as low as the spinners. This was a spinner's track. I get it. And then in the second innings, he only went 7 overs. Yeah, 7 overs, no wickets, 2 wides again. Had the highest economy rate. He did have a made in there. Did not impress me too much. I'm sorry. We need pacers that can take wickets. And Umesh Yadav got 2 total. He got 1 in each innings. He out-bowled Ishant Sharma. Even on a spinner's track, you got to have some pace bowlers. And I know you're probably going to tell me all the reasons why it's okay, but you can't tell me you're not a little alarmed with the form he's been in recently. And you're going to tell me all these wickets here and there. I'm talking about consistently. I'm talking about when the team needs it. One more earlier wicket could have been obviously the difference in this match. But Ashwin got himself 3 in the first innings. Axar got himself 5. Got a 5-for, baby. Jadeja got a 4-for in the second innings. Ashwin got a 3-for. So when you do the math right there, you're talking about Ashwin getting 6, Axar getting 6, Jadeja getting 5. Umesh, and this was a spinner's delight, for crying out loud. It really was. But when I see someone like Southey get himself 8 on this track, I'm trying to think, we've got to do better from our pacers. And I know guys are resting, I get that, but we've got to do better, got to be more consistent, got to take multiple wickets from our pacers, even on a spinner's track. We've seen Anderson do it. We've seen Southey do it. It can be done in India, and I've got to see that more consistency there. I've talked about just about everything I want to talk about. A lot of great performances I haven't gotten to yet. It was a great round of cricket. But my man Shreyas Iyer, the artist formerly known as Serious Liar, for crying out loud. This guy has earned himself some clout. This guy has earned himself a little bit of, what's the phrase, swing or whatever like that, where he can call some shots. This guy, from what I read, I hope this is correct, the first Indian Test batter ever in his debut, century and then half century. Ever. That's what this guy did. 105 runs. He really anchored India in that middle order. He was a perfect number 5. And I'm going to give Rahane all the credit for that, because he was a perfect. Where do you put Shreyas Iyer? This is his first time. This is his debut. We see him a lot in limited format. Where do we put him? You put him at 5, said Rahane, and it was gorgeous. It was beautiful to watch. His strike rate was 61. His strike rate was 61. And as I'm doing a quick look, that is the second highest strike rate behind Pujara. Behind Pujara in the second innings. When are you ever going to hear that? Pujara had the highest strike rate for anyone that had more than 30 balls in this match. That's hilarious. Shreyas Iyer got 65 on 125 in his second innings. This guy, 170 runs for his debut. First Indian batsman ever to do that. I think there was like 8 others in the history of cricket in Test at least. Or maybe all cricket all around, but it should be Test because the formats are so different, that has done that. He's also, this is shared with me by Saganesha. Thank you so much, Saganesha. This says the 7th man to be named player of the match on Test debut for India. So they've had some guys that have done this. He's the 7th guy to get a man of the match on his Test debut. Man of the match. This guy says he can go right now on his resume, every Test match I win, man of the match. Every single one, I win it. Yeah, because he's 1 for 1 so far. But look at some of these other names right here. Prithvi Shaw. I didn't know he was man of the match, but I heard he had a huge banger of a first outing. He got in 2018. Hasn't worked too well for him test internationally since. Rohit Sharma. Heard that name before. 2013. Shikhar Dhawan. Heard that name before. 2013. Man, back-to-back those two guys. Ashwin. Ashwin, for crying out loud. The all-rounder. I live at 2011. RP Singh and Amri. I'm not familiar with those players, but they did it 2006, 1992, respectively. So Shreyas Iyer, the first guy in the 2020s to do it, 7th guy in India to get man of the match on his test debut. Now, talking about Prithvi Shaw, we have seen kind of these one-hit wonders, this one and done, and he's only got, I get it, he only has like a few matches under his belt. I get it. But hopefully they can build on this. Hopefully this makes them think like, well, we got to put Iyer in there in the second match. We got the big guns coming back, but we got to put him in there. So this is a perfect time. You guys are going to think I'm crazy because he's way different batter than Pujara. But I think this is the perfect time to give Pujara a rest and put Iyer. You got to ride the hot hand. If they don't put Iyer in there in the second match, I'm going to lose my mind. I get what you're saying. Oh, fielding, it doesn't work for a replacement. I don't care. You can put Kohli there at number 3. You can keep Iyer at number 5. You got to keep Iyer. I want to see what this guy can do. Right, we saw Conway get a debut double century, right? We saw Bonner do it with West Indies, and Bonner, I want to say, he had a good couple of matches after that, but since then, he's kind of trailed off just a little bit. So, it's not a guarantee, but you got to ride the hot hand. He's definitely earned a second test match, so we'll see what happens. But, man, super impressed with him. Shreyas Iyer, I've always been a huge fan of this guy, and that's not me being sarcastic. Usually I do say that when I'm being sarcastic. I've always been a big fan of his. So happy for Shreyas Iyer. This guy, he can do it all, as they say in Rookie of the Year. But those are my thoughts on this match. Very, very fun match to follow. It was frustrating they couldn't get the win, but you can't blame New Zealand for giving that gutty performance. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and until next time, adios.